Coming up on First at 4, the new mask mandate is creating a lot of buzz on social media. We went to Laurel County to talk to health officials about it. And athletic practices at one Eastern Kentucky high school are on hold after more COVID-19 cases.
And the scattered storms are moving out of the area. More sunshine sets up heading into the weekend. First at 4 is next.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. Governor Beshear is expected to hold the second news conference in as many days at this hour. If you want to watch that, you can see it on our second channel, HNI, or on the WYMT Facebook page. We will be monitoring it for any major developments. Meanwhile, first at 4, we are tracking some strong to severe storms moving across the mountains that are producing very heavy rain and dangerous lightning. Chief Meteorologist Paige Noel joins us first with an update. Paige?
Steve, we're starting to see most of the showers and storms die down and move out of here, but they definitely packed a little bit of a punch earlier this afternoon. It was stormy for a lot of us. Some of us got some much needed rain, but like I said, they're starting to move out, hopefully setting up for a nice weekend. As you take you up to Pinpoint Doppler, you can see that those scattered showers and thunderstorms dying down as they start to move into parts of Virginia and West Virginia. But like I said, they packed a punch at times. We saw a few severe thunderstorm warnings throughout the afternoon hours. Some few storms starting to move into parts of Magoffin County and a little bit into Breathitt County, but you can see their air starting to die down, moving into an area that has already seen a lot of scattered showers and thunderstorms today. Heavy showers moved through parts of Pike County, Jenkins into parts of Letcher, and moved out of parts of Harlan County, even moved through Norton over into Wise. But like I said, they're starting to die down, moving into Virginia and West Virginia as that cold front kind of pushes through the mountains. Temperatures cooler for those who have seen that rain in the past really hour or so. 79 in Jackson, 71 in Pikeville, 68 in Wise. Cumberland Valley, guys, we're not so lucky today. Didn't get much of those showers and storms, and you've been on the hot and humid side, and temperatures feeling like those low to mid 90s down there, while the rest of us getting a nice little cool off. Heading into tomorrow, though, most of us get a little bit of a cool off and more sunshine, but more storms move in heading into your Sunday. I'll have a look at that weekend forecast coming up in a little bit.
All right, thank you very much, Paige. Now to a developing story we're following out of Pike County. Police tell us they discovered a burned car belonging to Wesley Hook's father. Now, Hook has been missing since early last month in Pike County. The car was found in the Shelbyana area near Highway 611. Police tell us there were human remains found inside the car, but were burned beyond recognition. The remains were taken to a Kentucky State Police forensic lab, and results are expected to take at least 2 to 3 weeks. Police say foul play is suspected. Starting today at 5 p.m., masks are required to be worn in public spaces. WYMT's Dakota Makris met with the Laurel County Health Department and has more about this new mandate.
I just spoke with Laurel County Health Department's Executive Director Mark Hensley about the new mandate. Laurel County is nearing 200 cases of COVID-19 with 125 cases still active. Hensley tells me they were anticipating the new mask mandate, but not this soon. He also tells me you cannot tell who's asymptomatic, and the new mandate helps slow the spread of the virus. The health department is working closely with law enforcement and businesses about the mandate.
We plan to work with the Kentucky State Police and the Cabinet of Labor to enforce this. And we will work with those businesses that we regulate on a normal basis and help to educate them and provide them the needed information to where they can suggest that their clientele wears masks when they enter those establishments.
Beginning at 5 p.m. Friday, masks will be required in public facilities. For now, I'm in Laurel County, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, the mandate does not include children under the age of 5 or those with health problems that a mask can compromise, such as asthma or COPD. We have a list of those exempted reasons that you do not have to wear a mask. You can find those on our website. Now, we're asking also on our website right now if you will wear a mask in public since Governor Beshear made them mandatory in Kentucky starting at 5 p.m., less than an hour from now. Only 39% of you said yes, you will wear one. 51% said no, and 10% said you would wear one sometimes. Well, for the third day in a row, the U.S. set a new record for daily coronavirus cases with more than 63,000 infections reported yesterday. The country's three largest states are being hit hardest: California, Texas, and Florida. In Florida, medical workers are struggling to keep up with the surge in cases. And in Arizona, inpatient hospitalizations hit a record high. There are less than 200 ICU beds left in the entire state. President Donald Trump continued his threats today to cut federal funding if schools do not reopen in the fall. The Journal of Pediatrics published a new commentary saying, quote, children infrequently transmit COVID-19 to each other or to adults. The Journal says schools should reopen in the fall if they follow social distancing guidelines. Well, in their Board of Control meeting today, the KHSAA gave the Commonwealth hope for high school sports in the fall. WYMT's Willie Hope explains.
There's good news and bad news for fall sports fans. The good news is that KHSAA Commissioner Julian Tackett said there will be fall sports in 2020. But the bad news is those sports may have a delayed start. Tackett and the board moved to push the initial start date for mandatory fall sports practice from July 15th to August 3rd. That's for all sports except for golf, which will start on time. This means the high school sports season would get delayed for competition as well. However, there's no guarantee that sports come back if cases rise, and Commissioner Tackett made that clear in the board meeting.
Our state wants high school sports. You're going to have to do the CDC recommendations on masking, on distancing, on hand washing. That's it. You're making a choice. You are openly saying, regardless of your motivation, whether it's political or otherwise, regardless of your motivation, you're openly saying, I don't want us to get back to normal as fast as we could.
Tackett remained optimistic about having a fall sports season, saying, quote, we're playing this fall. We don't know what it's going to look like, but we're going to. So fingers crossed for all the athletes out there, especially seniors and sports reporters like myself, that we have sports come this fall. From Perry County, Willie Hope, WYMT Mountain Sports.
The board also passed a motion that the only fall sport that will start its season on time is golf. With cases increasing across the region, public health officials are stressing the importance of following those safety precautions. This week, Hazard High School stopped practices for football and soccer after a player tested positive. WYMT's Will Puckett has more from a health official.
Earlier this week, we reported that a Hazard High School football player tested positive for COVID-19. Shortly after that news, the high school announced that they were going to go on a 2-week hiatus in order to hopefully stop the spread. Since then, 2 Little Leaguers in Perry and Letcher County have tested positive for the virus as well. Public Health Director Scott Lockard said this is now when protocols in place are brought out and put to use.
We all love our basketball. We all love our football and sport. It's just an important part of our life, but we have to do it in a safe manner. We have to do it in a manner that will not spread COVID amongst our teams and into our families and throughout our community.
Lockard went on to say that anybody not in the field of play is going to be required to wear a mask this sports season. He also said that this is pretty good practice for what schools may look like in the fall. In Hazard, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
Coming up at 6, we'll hear from Hazard Mayor and high school principal Happy Mobilini about the steps the school is taking moving forward. A motorcyclist is dead following a crash last night in Madison County. It happened on Lexington Road near the Madison-Fayette County line. The coroner says 25-year-old Justin Napier was heading south when he hit a truck. Napier died at the scene. The coroner says Napier's license said he was from Georgetown. Officials speculate Napier recently moved to Madison County. Police in Johnson County are looking for a man they say broke a window during an attempted robbery. Do you know this man? Deputies say he threw a rock through the front door glass window of the Hair Cutters on US 23 in Nippa. It happened around midnight on June 24th. Investigators say the suspect left behind evidence that can identify him. If you have any information, call the sheriff's office at 606-789-3411. We are learning new information about the disappearance of actress Naya Rivera. A newly released 911 call shows how Wednesday night unfolded at the Southern California lake. A boater finds Rivera's son asleep in a life vest, his mother nowhere in sight. Earlier in the day, security cameras capture Rivera and her son renting a pontoon boat. When she did not return the boat, the company went searching. Her son told investigators they went swimming. He says she did not return to the boat with him. An adult life vest was found on board. Search crews are continuing to look for Rivera using divers, helicopters, and drones. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Friday afternoon. The Dow closes up today, a good end to the week, closing up more than 369 points. Straight ahead on First at 4, an Eastern Kentucky City Council member helps keep kids cool this summer.
And more sunshine's in store this weekend, along with a few chances for some scattered showers and thunderstorms. I'll have a look at that weekend forecast coming up.